to our final MPF webinar of 2025. Uri, good to see you as well. You're muted. You're muted. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. Right out of the box, I messed up my technology. Look at that.
Uri and I have been spending the last 45 minutes trying to get the technology in sync. And we had it working. And the minute we go live.
We got it now. We got it now. We got it now.
Usually we get dressed up for our final webinar of the year. And Uri's got a top hat. We do a toast. But I'm on vacation right now. Usually I'm wearing a little blazer action going, but I'm coming at you from the Florida Keys. It's about 80 degrees and sunny. So, Uri, what's the weather like where you're hanging out today? And where are you hanging out today?
Yeah, no, this is not where I am at right now. I am in a Jerusalem suburb in Israel, and I'll share something private, John. You know, I have my daughter's wedding in a couple of days, so very exciting.
Yes, very exciting. And you shared with me, Uri, that it's a big affair.
Well, it's not the White House, but it is a few hundred people. Yes, that's correct.
You didn't build a ballroom?
Exactly. I knew we would go right there, John. Exactly.
Well, congratulations. That's exciting.
Thanks,
new members of the Gutfreund family, and
yes, thank you.
That's exciting. But as I understand it, it's a sit-down dinner for 300 people.
It is a sit-down dinner for 300 people. We've been cooking for months. No, I'm kidding. But yes.
That sounds expensive, Uri. I hope you had a good year.
Yeah, thank God. Yes, we did. Thank you.
Well, welcome everybody. It's great. We have a great turnout. I think this is our highest level of registration all year, as it has been the past few years. It seems to be a really fun topic. People want to tune in. As always, we're going to share lots of data to help your firms plan for 2026 and beyond. We're going to share the predictions you all had as an audience when you registered. We asked you some questions and got some very interesting responses from our audience.
Yes,
and
always do.
Yeah, always do. And it's great to see that engagement. And as you all know, we love your feedback, especially now as we plan for 2026. The topics y'all are interested in, Uri and I think we know it all, but we don't. We need to hear from you in terms of your topics and what you're interested in. So please take a few minutes, give us that feedback as you leave us this afternoon. Certainly want to wish everybody happy holidays, and hope everybody's enjoying so far the season. Uri, how's your Hanukkah been?
It's going great. Just lit the fourth night of Hanukkah. I'm all good.
It's number 4, huh?
Number 4 starts tonight. Yes.
So I think most people know I moved this summer, and I thought, should I put up a Christmas tree?
Oh yeah.
Should I buy a fake Christmas tree? And I'm like, Scrooge, bah humbug. I got a couple of little nutcrackers over on the dining room table. That's it. A lot of work, as we know, putting up that Christmas tree. We'll get started here very shortly, everybody. It's 1:59. We like to keep on time and start right at the top of the hour, and a hard stop right at 3 o'clock Eastern time. We are being recorded, and everybody registered will get a link to that on-demand recording. The handout material with the polling results we'll share, and some other resources. So we will be following up with you, and thanks for being with us. And Uri, are you ready?
I am ready. Let's go. Big, bold predictions for 2026, which is, you'll announce it. What number are we up to, John?
This is webinar number 64. And we've been doing them on the third Wednesday pretty consistently. We missed a few this year, but we've been cranking them out. So they're fun to do, and we love the feedback. I think most folks know Uri at Ames Gough. Uri, tell folks, you never tell people what you do at Ames Gough. What do you do? What do you do?
Well, thank you, John. Thank you for asking. I am
You're
a
welcome.
partner at Ames Gough. We are a national insurance brokerage. I head up the law firm division. We do all kinds of smart things on their insurance, and we leverage our peer groups for helping law firms do everything in their business, because your firm is just like every other firm, similar kind of challenges. And if we can be that nexus of helping you in your business, well, we're doing our job. So John and I have a lot of intersecting values on that, and that's why we partner in so many programs. And
So
what do
Uri,
you
what's
do,
hot
John?
in
What do you
what's
do?
hot? Well, hang on. Let me get before we get to me. What's hot in the long firm insurance biz?
Oh, what is hot? Cyber insurance is hot. The data from our group is that there have been more claims in the last 2 years paid out on cyber insurance than professional liability insurance, which is
Wow.
shocking. It is shocking. How much money people are paying out, how many times it happens. It really is a plague. It is a plague among our law firm clients, and I think that's
Wow.
reflective across the board.
Any action around AI and the integration of AI into the business practice of law?
There is, and I don't want to get ahead of our predictions on this, John, but yeah, AI is obviously where there's a lot of intersection of a lot of those risks, where we have
Yeah.
clients work, technology, new usages, all these kinds of things. We'll get through it in our predictions, I think,
Yeah.
John.
We have a lot of AI, as you might could imagine. I mean, it's here, and it's going to impact the future of the profession. And you guys know it. You talk about it in your assessments of what's coming up. And I think Uri and I have some pretty strong opinions in our work with managing partners around the country, Canada, smaller and mid-sized firms for the most part. To answer your question as to what I do, Uri, I've been running these managing partner programs now for about 20 years. I'll give you an overview of what we're doing next year on our next slide, and then on the side I do a little consulting work, and I love doing law firm retreats. So if your firm's planning a retreat this year, give us some thought. We bring data, we know how the business of law, and we can talk on a whole bunch of topics, and it's a lot of fun. So if you got a retreat coming up this spring, keep us in mind. We'd love to hear from you.
John, can I interrupt you? Can I interrupt you, John, for 1 second, just on a tech check here? I don't see our slide deck showing. Can somebody just put in the chat if you're seeing the deck? Because I don't see John's deck at this moment. John, we want to make sure everybody can see our deck. So somebody just put in the chat comments, questions, please. I'm not sure what's been enabled on this one. Okay, I'm seeing it now. John, you put it up. I see it now.
Yeah.
So hopefully everybody can see it.
Yeah, and it's tough for me. I'm working in a hotel room off a laptop, and I've got like 4 screens open to toggle back and forth and do polling questions and all that. So thanks for bringing that to my attention.
Sure.
Those were kind of placeholder slides to kick us off. We're doing the webinars. I think Uri and I are down on that through 2026,
yes.
And we want to hear from you on those topics. We're doing our big leadership conference. This is our big signature event we do in Atlanta every year, May 6th and 7th. It's a Wednesday, Thursday, and we're going to open registration very, very shortly. Some firms like to pay their fees before year end for taxing reasons and such. So keep an eye out for that. Uri, you'll be there.
Yeah, I've been coming for years, John. It is really the premier conference, particularly if you want a national scope. You want to meet another 55 attorney firm in 3 other big cities around the country, you go to Remsen's conference. You want to meet another 25 attorney firm trying to figure out succession, you go to Remsen's conference. I mean, it's really, so many peers there. There's nothing like that. And there are some Atlanta firms, but it's overwhelmingly not Atlanta. So this is 2 people that come spend 2 days working on their firm. The energy, the buzz, it is game changer, because you're spending 2 days investing in your firm, thinking about things. Really, I hear that from so many people who go, John.
It's very energizing. It's reaffirming. You're not alone. The stuff you're grappling with, the stuff we'll be talking about the rest of our time together. Firms are in this together, trying to figure out how to evolve and adapt to all the stuff going on, the consolidation, the globalization, the technology, the competition. None of this stuff is going away. And we try to provide that community where managing partners and firm leaders can come together in a high level, kind of a confidential setting. We apply Chatham House rules to all our programs. Uri does his stuff. And if you want to plug into what's going on in New York and New Jersey specifically, Uri's got some great programs. We do a program together in Jersey and take it into New York in March. I think our dates are set, Uri, for March, and then we'll do it again in the fall. So these communities of managing partners, the people that come and participate, take advantage, immerse themselves, find tremendous value in the relationships and in the community. We'll be doing a fall symposium in Chicago. That's something we've set up since COVID. So be on the lookout for those details. We have our website up there. It's going through a revamp, which is taking forever, but hopefully we'll be relaunching our website soon. Exciting. And here's our AI community. And we just had a couple of people join this week, Uri. We got about 50 managing partners, 50, from all over the country, and a number of Canadians. We have a number of Canadian firms participating as well. So check us out. We're here to try to help you run a more profitable, cohesive, sustainable law firm. To today's program.
Yes.
Big bold. All caps there. Did you see I did the all caps on that?
Yes. It's screaming. I hear it. It's great.
It is screaming. We have 145 signed up, and we'll do the polling and all that good stuff. Our friends at Nine Sale, outstanding SEO operators, marketing, and the search engine optimization. They're out of New York, and they do a great job. And we do seek your input. Data. What people like most about these programs are the data and the banter and the pace. It's not boring. We promise not to bore you. So to kick things off, we like to just for everybody in the room, ask about tools. Where are my tools? There they are. Our poll, and it's to firm size.
Yep.
So if you would, how many lawyers at your firm? And I think I blew this, Uri, and I looked at this in a preview, and see here, when I close it, I can't reopen it and reset.
No.
I know. It's one of the limitations of GoToWebinar, and ladies and gentlemen, I may be moving off this tired horse and joining Zoom like the rest of the world. I've been using GoToWebinar forever, and it's not perfect. So when you did register, mostly mid-size, I can assure you, we asked that, just how many lawyers at your firm? And we squarely hit that 25 to 100 lawyer firm size. That's our sweet spot. And we bring firms from smaller and larger sizes. But most of the data we're sharing with you, I would call applicable to smaller and mid-size, 25 to say 100 lawyer firms. Top priority for 2026, here's what you told us. We gave you a list, said pick one. And technology for the first time. AI, integration, technology emerges as the leader for the first time.
Yep.
And I would say it's about time. This has been coming at us for a while, and firms are slow to adopt, particularly smaller and mid-sized firms. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity to level the playing field and really outdistance yourself from your competitors. If you lean in and know how to use this efficiently, ethically, you got your billing models adjusted. This is a huge opportunity for those firms who want to jump ahead of the competition. And I think they will be well rewarded in so doing. But law firms lag when it comes to change. We know that.
John, I think it's a different perspective. I think this is a big danger to firms. I think this is the equivalent of in the 1990s saying we do not want to be computerized. I don't know if I'm going to go that computer way. I think our clients, we're going to take the non-computer, non-internet way. I think it's more a challenge than I think that's an opportunity. That's what I think. If you don't do it, I don't think you have a choice.
Are we talking about risk? Lawyers perceive it as risky because they see these, issues that get widely publicized.
Yeah. But I don't think it matters. I think it matters what the clients think. And I don't think the world thinks that technology and AI is too risky. I think business owners, business owners, companies, public, private, are racing, and I think that's the right word, racing to figure out how to use technology to cut their costs and to do things smarter, better, cheaper. So as a law firm, you can say we don't want to do that, but when your clients, and they are, I mean, every day there's another story how clients are racing towards to adopt the technology. I don't think you want to be standing in the way of your clients. So anyway, I'm a little animated about this.
We're
I'll be quiet
we're
now,
going to
John.
get to it, but I'm going to disagree with you, Uri. I
I know.
think a lot of firm leaders think this technology is risky.
I
You know,
agree.
it hallucinates.
I
It
agree.
violates client confidentiality. We
I
can't
agree.
bill all those hours in good conscience. It's taken
They
away
are
our
saying that, John.
money-making platform, billable hours. And so if we make mistakes, we're going to get called out. And it's in the press. You know,
Yep.
it all started with that
Yep.
Stephen Schwartz case, and nobody wants to be that law firm.
That's right.
So we'll shut it down. We can't
Yep.
get in trouble that way. And I
That
think
is what a
it's
lot of firms are
riskier
saying.
not to do this stuff, to let your people run loose without training, without policy in play. Talk about risk.
Yeah.
So getting ahead of it, the policy, the training, we'll talk about that as we go through the program. You know, this is last year. I put the date in red just so we could pick up any changes. Same priorities. And you can see the shift here from, you know, talent retention, talent recruiting, to technology. You know, the talent retention is still an important piece, but look at retention. Boy, that was hot last year and the year before. We're losing people. We're losing good people to big law. We can't compete on compensation. So it's interesting to observe this shift. Now, these are about 140 law firms, but they are managing partners. And I think there is some statistical validity to this data we're presenting to you all. We've been asking this, Uri, for 3 years periodically. And,
that's right.
you know, your strategy to improve profitability.
Number one choice.
And bumping rates, always number one. And guess what? Firms have been achieving their rate increases. So that's the number one strategy firms are going to employ to improve their profitability next year. But we see technology coming in at number 2 for the first time. Using these tools to become more efficient, more cost effective, and more profitable. Do we need as many paralegals within our ranks? Do we need as many first, second, third year associates within our ranks? When the technology can do a lot of this document review and document production better, faster, cheaper than humans. So that's an interesting conversation. Firms are trying to figure that one out. Uri, you want to comment on this? Kind of the changes and strategy.
I'm going to hold my comment to the next slide where we ask what that rate is going to be, because John, let's go to that next slide.
Yes. And this we did as part of our registration. Sometimes we do these questions live, you know, in one of these webinars. But here's the anticipated rate increases. You know, if you're billing hourly, flat fee, fixed fee, whatever. We tried to catch all that. What do you think, Uri, on this data?
So here's what I think. When you look at this, first of all, this is a little softer than we've seen the last 2 years. You know, we had seen a higher amount on the 8 to 10% in the past 2 years. But here's the problem, as I see it, and I'm hearing a lot of this feedback. If you're only getting a 6% rate increase, a lot of people, a vast majority here are getting 6, 7% max and lower percentage. If that's your number one strategy, here's the problem. Most firms' costs are going up faster than 6 or 7%. So if your costs are going up more than 6 or 7%, and that's your biggest strategy to raise the rate, your strategy is to make less money next year.
You're treading water.
That's not a good strategy. No, you're losing.
Yeah.
You are, you know, that's like, you know, the examples, you know, you're losing to inflation. Well, guess what? You're losing to inflation here. Great news, you're getting a 6% increase. Bad news, your costs went up 10%, mostly in personnel savings. That's what I heard the last 2 years, is we're raising rates, but we can't keep it up with our expenses. Payroll expenses going up quicker than these rate increases. Guess what, John? You asked me that slide before. Bad strategy. Number one strategy is a losing strategy.
What I'm hearing, Uri, is I can't convince my partners to bump their rates. You know,
that might not be wrong.
Like that.
That might not be
And
wrong, but you have to do the other tools then. That might not
hey,
be wrong. They might not be wrong.
no. People
No.
expect automatic 5%
Okay.
every year. It's the default if you're working billable hours, whatever.
Yeah.
And here's ammunition. If you've got clients or partners, they're the biggest impediment to your rate increases. The clients take them. Our data says that time and time again. The clients take them with very little pushback. My biggest obstacle is my partners who are reluctant to have the conversations for whatever reason. But boy, I think this is the lever, if we're working billable hours, it's the rates and the hours, and nobody's wanting to work more hours. So we talk about timekeeping, billing practices, and the rates. I'm surprised here, Uri, that 21% of firms say they don't yet know what they're doing for rates in 2026. Well, not that you have to raise your rates with the calendar year, but that's when most firms do it. And if you haven't figured it out yet, it's probably a good time to have some discussions with your partners and set up a firm-wide standard hourly rate schedule. And if you have partners wanting to come off the standard rates, guess what? They got to bring it to an intake committee. We can't let partners give away firm time, write off firm time, because they're reluctant to pass through legitimate, well-earned fees. That's my take on rates. Have the confidence you're good. Charge what you're worth. And if clients can't afford it, maybe you send them on their way. So 2024, we asked our audience as they registered, here's where some of your predictions. Many of you probably came last year.
John, I don't hear you. Can somebody put in the comments if they hear John? Oh, John, we do not hear you. Somebody can put in the comments or questions or chat if they can hear. I do not hear John. See, John, it's good I'm here. I'm here to keep this tech going. Can someone else opine if they hear or don't hear John? I hear someone saying, can't hear John. John, we cannot hear you. It's not just me. Thank you. Lisa, Denise, Jeff, thank you. I never know if I'm the crazy guy. So now I know it's it's John who's the crazy guy, not me. Well, thank you very much. Yes, thank you. So John, for now, it is you who are out. Do not hear you. Still do not hear you, John.
Test.
I hear you now perfectly. Perfectly.
Now I'm
John?
on?
Yes, we hear you perfectly.
Okay. Good thing, I don't try to pretend to be an IT expert, folks. That's not what I did. So
was that your first reveal of today, John? Was that your first reveal? Okay, nobody thinks you're a tech guy, John.
Here are some of your responses. I'm not going to read them to you, but they'll be in the handouts, and pretty much verbatim. When you registered, we asked you a handful of multiple choice questions, and then we asked you, what's your big, bold prediction? And here's what y'all told us last year. Here we are in 2025, this year's big, bold predictions from our audience. Not going to read all these to you. I like bullet point 2. AI is not the be-all, but rather a tool. Remember those brick phones. Remember the fax machines. Which we don't have around anymore. But I'll ask you, Uri, if anything jumps out at you as we look at comments from our audience as to their big, bold predictions for next year.
Yeah, well, I think the second one on this sheet, John, clients will want to use AI more, but will remain unclear how to compensate for it. Meaning that's a big topic we'll talk about in a minute with our predictions. But look, you're not sure how to charge for it, and they're not sure how to pay for it. I can tell you they're not asking you to pay more for it, it being the legal advice. But the question is, how are you going to provide that for the same or less money? That's it. That's the only question. So why don't we go on?
Yeah, there's that top point is alternative arrangements, getting our practice groups to buy into them and start playing with them. There's some merger consolidation. That trends,
Mm-hmm.
I think, in a march on. That was one of our big bold predictions last year. Not just that big law will acquire smaller mid-sized firms, but we'll see quite a few combinations among smaller and mid-sized firms. The divide between AI users and non-users, bullet point 3, couldn't agree with that one more.
Yep.
There's consolidation again. There's lawsuits on AI. That's insurance related, Uri, is it not?
Yeah.
More on predictions from our audience. There's that compensation issue, recruiting, retention.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of conversation. We'll be talking a lot about that in Atlanta, I'm sure, at our MPIs, where we group firms and they really open up and talk about what they're doing. And it's so really helpful to the people in the audience. There's pushback on rates. Hasn't happened so far. We'll see if that carries forth, those of you seeking rate increases. And here's the last of it. I like bullet point 2 on this one, Uri. We are going to reinvent the way law firms operate and provide
Absolutely.
results.
Take the bull by the horn.
I know who in our managing partner community may have said that. I think I know.
Yeah.
But they
CJ?
are really doing some bold innovative
CJ?
things. Exactly.
Is it CJ?
Exactly.
Is it CJ? Okay, CJ,
exactly.
I think you're out there.
Exactly. He is really leaning into it with great results. So before we pivot and talk about our bold predictions, rehashing our best of show webinars for 2025 this past year, and Uri and I kind of looked through the archive. They're all on our website. You can hear, listen, and get handouts from any of them. But in March, we had our Thomson Reuters friends, Bill Jostin, who was the primary author on that report on the state of the legal market. We're going to invite him back as to his availability to come talk to us. Most of their research is around big law, AmLaw 100, 200 firms, but there's a lot we can learn, smaller and mid-sized firms. I had to do a technology program, Corey and Morris. We did a program with NALP. I thought that might be our best, Uri, on talent retention and recruiting. NALP is the National Association of Law Placement. And they have a lot of research on what attracts talent, what holds talent, why they leave, where they go. So if that's an issue for you, talent recruiting and retention, NALP has some great resources for you to take a look at. And that was last year's hot issue, was the talent retention recruiting piece.
I thought that was a good one too, but if you go back for a second, I thought the one with Bill Jostin was really good, especially in our theme, like our theme today, which is, raising rates is not the only way to make more money. I mean, Bill points out how much money, leakage is his word, right? How much money firms are leaving on the table, which goes right to the bottom line. So you want to stay the same or make more money, watch that webinar recording. I mean, if you've done work with your financial people, you know some of this where you're hurting. But I mean, the statistics on where firms are leaving profits on the table. They're not losing business. They're not losing parts of business. They're losing 10, 20, 30% of profit. I mean, that just doubles your profit. So that's really a good one. So I like that one. Frankly, that was my favorite.
Yeah, and leakage, working smarter, your intake, your timekeeping, your billing, your write-offs, your write-downs, all along the way, we're given money, from the hour worked to the hour paid for, trying to collapse that to less than 60 days. And some firms are just really loose around their billing and timekeeping practices and people getting the time in. But boy, if we're working the billable hour, we better get damn good at time tracking and billing and time entry. So, I mean, you don't necessarily have to work harder, just work smarter. And you can really see that go straight to the bottom line. You bump that realization rate percent or two. I mean, it's powerfully impactful on the bottom line. Here's some other programs we particularly liked. And everybody's interested in strategies to improve profitability. We've been doing programs with Rob Mattern at Mattern's Associates. He's out of Philly. John Hellerman joined us for the first time with a marketing person from a Michigan firm to talk about content-fueled business development. And guess where a lot of that content's coming from, folks? It's AI-generated content for the marketing and business development and blogging and social media posts and things like that.
Yeah,
and all of these are archived.
Yeah, I like that one the best. Also, the reason why I liked it is that's the focus is you don't have to be big law to compete. And I think that's a great point. Everybody in our community, I think that'll resonate. So if you haven't seen that one, check out the one in September.
This is the content fueled business development.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I was, as an in-house marketer, back in the 80s when this was unheard of. We thought marketing was television and yellow pages. Remember the yellow pages?
Right.
There's another thing gone the way of the fax machine. So that's best of show. Here we are. The big reveal, our big bold predictions for 2026. Uri's the guy on the right, by the way. The bald guy on the right.
And John is the bald guy on the left.
Thank you. So here's a polling question before we offer our big predictions, and that is tool polls. There we go. I got it going. From this list, these items, what's your biggest worry in the coming year? Is it people leaving? Is it clients leaving? Is it senior lawyers won't change and evolve? Is it that our junior lawyers just don't have that fire in the belly? Or is there something else that's really concerning our firm leadership in the coming year? People are voting. I'll do the reveal once we get about a 60% participation. And people love this data we bring at you. And here's what we got in terms of biggest concerns. This was an interesting one, Uri.
Yeah.
Our junior lawyers want to work remotely, maybe 1,400 hours, if maybe.
I hear this all the time. I actually think they say junior lawyers don't step up. The next generation, I don't see it. I think it's on us. I think it's a lot more on us than we like to say. It's not them, it's us. We hired these people. We thought they should stay in the back room, bill out those hours. Guess what? They didn't develop leadership. They didn't develop rainmaking. I think it's a little bit more on us, but the bottom line is we don't have people who can fill our shoes. What are you seeing on this, John?
Well, I mean, lots of programming on generational divide, generational differences, and the old folks like me, the baby boomers, work hard and don't play much and don't ask many questions of authority. Today's young people have questions. They want work-life balance. They'll job hop. I mean, boy, do the statistics really throw that in your face, the job hopping.
Wow.
These young kids don't want to work that hard. They want everything handed on a silver platter. And to that I say, you're making sweeping generalizations of generations of younger people. Within those generations, there are hardworking people with fire in the belly. Find those people who do have that work ethic as part of your recruiting strategy. And don't just look at grades and resume. Look for kids who go the extra mile, class presidents, captain the football team, extracurricular activities, they want to get out and become leaders and rainmakers. And it's kind of in their DNA. So I still think you can spot the hardworking, hard-charging younger lawyers within the generation. They are out there, but these are interesting discussions. I think setting the expectations, being clear around the Bill of Lading expectation, being clear around rewards and incentives and disincentives. Hard people make more money. Hardworking people make more money than those who just, put in the bare minimum. So break out a lockstep compensation. At about the third year at the associate level, break out a lockstep and look at performance as you allocate bonuses and distribute raises. Don't reward underperformers. And we see law firms do that all the time. Reward underperformance.
Yep.
Because, we got to give them a raise or they'll leave.
Yep.
Well, if they're chronically underperforming, maybe they should leave.
Yeah.
I just throw that out at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else on that, Uri, before we move along?
Well, to your point, it's bonus season. So are you giving the laggard the same that you're giving the superstar, or a tiny little difference? That's just bad business. That's bad business, and they don't want it.
Yep.
High performers don't want that. Start us off,
Why
John.
should I work my butt off when the guy in the next office who's never here on Friday afternoon, who gets the same raise and the same bonus I do?
Right.
Because
Right.
we're both in the third year class, So I think clarity around expectations, performance, evaluation. A lot of firms, folks, we're hearing are instituting monthly bonuses.
Yep.
Not annual, not quarterly, monthly bonuses based on performance. And that might be billable hours, it might be firm citizenship, it might be even some firm building contributions. But, I think, you reward the hard workers. Meister talks about that in his book, True Professionalism. There are drivers and there are riders, people who are just riding along. And I think, a lot of firms hold on to people longer than they should. Let me jump back here. I think, generally speaking, 2025 is not going to be, or 2026 is not going to be the cakewalk that 2025 was for many firms. There's been a good run since COVID. Firms are doing remarkably well, profitability up, rates up. It's been pretty rosy, but a lot of pressure coming at us. And I think 2026 is going to be a bit more challenging than 2025. Uri?
Yeah, you're right, except I'll just depart a little bit from what you said. I think 25 was a harder year than for many firms, again, just because expenses going up faster than the rate increases. So I don't know if 25 is a cakewalk, but I agree with you. 26 is going to continue on that road.
I think 26, just this AI thing. And our next couple of slides, we got to talk about AI here. And one of our predictions is that, AI is emerging as a top priority, integrating AI technology into our practice in a responsible, ethical way, training our people, putting policy in place. Boy, we talk about that till we're blue in the face. It's risky not to be doing these things. You talk about risk aversion, not training your people how to use these tools is pretty risky. Not having policy in place with some oversight, I think that's pretty risky too. So it is a priority, and that's good to see. It's about time.
Yes.
That's all you got? Yes.
Well, we have other predictions on AI. I don't want to steal the thunder here.
All right. This next slide is yours, Uri, and we're talking about clients.
Yes, and I think this is ultimately the driver. We've seen this with other areas. The way you provide to clients, what you provide to clients is not what you think; it's what they want. And while I think this is partially accurate, some clients will want to use AI, some will not. I just wanted to change this a little bit, which is most of your clients in a very short time will want you to use AI, and a very few, and getting fewer will not. I think it's like a calculator. No, there will be some clients who are scared you're going to be putting in the wrong numbers with a calculator. They want you to do it by hand, and the rest of them will want you to use a calculator. I think this is a tool that they know, they have, and the reason why they're going to want you to use it is not because they're looking around for you to have a little more vacation time. They think, well, look, if there's a tool out there that makes my lawyer work quicker, and if the way I paid my lawyer was based on time, guess what? I can work quicker and I can save money. And by the way, I might even do it better, but I want a law firm that makes it quicker because then I pay less in the bill. Now, John, that's a pretty bad strategy. If the clients want you to do quicker and pay you less for the same results, I don't know. That doesn't sound like a fun
Well,
destination for
we
me.
got to start billing based on output, not input.
Results.
It's the output, the value of the result.
So
that we got to look to more value-based billing practices, flat fees, contingency fees. I'm starting to hear about subscription models that firms are putting out there. And I think this varies by industry, by the sophistication of the clients, certainly the insurance companies and the more, voluminous users of services. There's an organization called CLOC we've referenced, the Commercial Law Operations Consortium. These are the in-house professionals within legal departments, in-house legal departments. And it's all they're talking about is how to apply AI to reining in the spend for legal services, be it our in-house or our outsourced legal services.
Yes.
And they're sophisticated. They're way ahead of, let's say we're doing a estate planning practice for 60 somethings and 70 somethings. That's a different scene, different demands, different clients. So I think it depends on the practice. I think it depends on the sophistication of the clients. I think the conversation is the important thing. And this is long before AI came into play, getting to know your clients and how they want to be communicated with, managing their expectations, getting to know their business, getting to know their industry, becoming that value-added counselor, and taking a proactive interest in helping your clients achieve their goals and objectives. So I think it's worthy of the conversation, certainly with your top 10, top 20 clients that you want to really enhance the relationships with. I would strongly recommend those conversations. I think putting language in your engagement letters so there's clarity around whether or not we're using AI is important. And we're starting to see firms put cost recovery fees for technology into their billings. One firm shared at a Zoom call last week that they have a technology fee. It's a one-time fee when we open the file. And I think the number was $350, trying to recover these investments in technology, which aren't insubstantial. Others tack on 6%, 7% as a add-on technology fee. Some firms are doing that. Not many. It's not a wave, but it's starting to slip in there. And there's a lot of firms that say, no, our clients don't want to be nickeled and dimed with these little fees. This is a cost of doing business, and we're going to build that into our rates. So it's interesting. There's a lot of interesting thoughts, a lot of things being put out there. So that's what we got on clients and interacting with the clients and your use of technology and how you practice in law. Anything before we move on to our next big, bold prediction, Mr. Gutfreund?
Nope. I think clients will be running this more than you. So you can talk about it with the client, but I think the clients are going to run this. And then this is
your big, bold prediction.
With the quick demand, and I think that's what's driving the AI. I don't think, except for the plaintiff firms who every time they get efficiency, right? You do the time quicker. If you're a plaintiff firm, you reap the reward. Clients are mostly looking for AI and technology so that they reap the reward, right? So I think in law firms being reactive, trying to keep up with client demand, they're going to botch it. We've already seen this. I mean, it's already been in the papers almost every week. Another firm doing what would be a faux pas. Even larger firms. There's a California AmLaw 100 firm that had a faux pas recently.
That Gordon Reese, I think, got hit. Is it Gordon Reese?
We don't need to name names here, John, do we?
Well, if it's been written up in the press, we can name names.
But the point is, those faux pas are out there, and it hasn't been a disaster yet. But I don't think it's hard, and that's why in my prediction, I don't think it's hard to imagine that someone is going to put something into an AI that's going to learn about another transaction, an upcoming transaction that the public should not hear about, a patent that they should not hear about, some big other merger, private information, a big merger.
Yeah.
I think we are but for the grace of God, it hasn't happened yet. I believe that AI will lead to a disaster for a big firm, and not an embarrassment like we saw recently of that big firm, but just a real heavy disaster.
I was Morgan and Morgan, the high-flying plaintiffs firm, got in a little trouble when they are their local counsel. You know, they're a big marketing thing. They bring in matters and farm them off to local counsel and such. And their local counsel was using AI on matters, unbeknownst to Morgan and Morgan. But who's the client going to sue if they got a grievance or want to file a malpractice claim? They're going to sue Morgan and Morgan and the local counsel. So, you know, this stuff is popping up in interesting ways. So, you know, in your work with co-counsel, you know, that should be articulated and how we're going to use these tools. So there are no surprises, and we don't get caught up in lawsuits, you know, and grievances and the rest of it. So, yeah, I think this is why you train. This is why you have policy.
We have a question about that.
Firm. You aren't that firm. And that does dovetail into our next question. We've been asking this a lot, and certainly advocating that you need some policy, you need some training. Otherwise, you just might find yourself in trouble because your people are using these tools.
Right.
They are. And if so, and they're using firm equipment and firm access to the internet, guess what? You got some liability around that.
Well, I think even without firm equipment, we all have one of these. We all have one of these, right? So people have these in the office by you?
Come on, folks, vote early, vote often. I'm running into my my Georgia thing about vote counting here. So we like to get about at least 60% of our audience with weighing in on a polling answer. We're almost there. So has your firm adopted usage policies around generative AI? Yes, with oversight. Yes, but not a whole lot of oversight. We're working on it, or no. I got 62%. Here's what we got. Comment.
Share the results, John.
Oh,
share the results, John.
All right, Uri, I heard you the first time.
Yes. So here, look at this. 92% either have it or work in progress. Good. The 25% of you.
Good. This is progress. This is progress.
Yes. This is absolute progress. And yeah, I mean, this is just it's a fact. You have to have it. Look, you also have to talk about it. You also have to train it. I have one client who had a 12-page AI policy. I'm not sure that was so good, frankly. If it's 12 pages and no one reads it, that's not good. Got to have it, talk about it.
A firm guy calls me and says, "Oh, John, we just adopted an AI usage policy. I went on ChatGPT and asked it to give me a policy for Connecticut, and oh, it's great." I said, "Okay, are you enforcing it?" He goes, "Well, we haven't distributed it." Like, what's that?
It's on the shelf. It's one of those that sits on the shelf, John.
I think communication, if we're going to have policy, if we're going to have rules, I think enforcement, you know, there should be carrots and sticks. And I think oversight is important to keep an eye on what your people are doing, because just enacting policies only to ignore them, I think that's worse than having no policy at all. So, you know, policy with oversight, I think, and training on how to prompt AI, which tools to use, you know, Copilot, co-counsel, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, LexisNexis, Harvey. We're hearing a lot of good buzz around Harvey, not so good buzz around Thomson Reuters product, by the way. Just hearing people say it's really expensive, it's really clunky, our people don't like it, and we spend a lot of money on it. Harvey, on the other hand, it's not cheap, but man, is it good and powerful and easy to use. We asked Tony DeSimone and I did a webinar on AI policies and stuff, and he's going down all the list of these AI tools. And it's like, come on, Tony, I'm a lawyer. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate. I'm not going to learn how to use all these Claude and Perplexity and this one and that one and the other one. Which one should I learn to use and start to play around with? And he said, without hesitation, Copilot, because that's embedded in Microsoft 365, and it's encrypted. So the breaches, the confidentialities are much safer there if you're using Copilot. And the other one is ChatGPT. I mean, it has emerged, open sourced. You can get it for free, and it's by far more heavily used in Claude, Perplexity, and some of its competitors. So when I pushed them to say, I'm a lawyer, tell me the two I should start playing with, those were the two, ChatGPT and Copilot, for what that's worth. All right, back to our predictions. And this is value-based pricing. We've talked about this, Uri, and the conversation with clients who know you can probably gin up these documents a little better, faster, cheaper now that you got these tools, and you can review documents better, faster, cheaper. And, you know, you're billing me for 3 days worth of time when it took you 45 minutes. How are we going to bill for that? And you can't, in good conscience, I think, put the billable hour to that. I think we've got to look at more value-based billing models and start playing with those. You got to start somewhere. And when you want to learn to ride a bike, for example, you want to apply value-based billing models, you got to start with a little big wheel. Remember when you were a preschooler, you had the little big wheel, plastic thing, you couldn't get hurt. And then you got a tricycle. And then you got a little bike with training wheels on it. And then you got your first Schwinn bike. And then you got a 10-speed. But you didn't ride the 10-speed coming out of the gates. You started easy, and you played with it, and you learned, and you got comfortable. And then you ramp up, and it becomes just, natural to you at that point. But you got to start somewhere. So I think the more commodity-based, predictable matters where we can apply a flat fee. And, we'll win some, we'll lose some, we'll shadow bill it and adjust the flat fee perhaps as we learn. But those are some of my thoughts around value-based billing. We got to, start easy. But I think, we've been talking about the death of the billable hour for a long time. But this AI stuff just might be among the final nails in the coffin on the billable hour model.
I think you're right. My points on this is, number one, you don't have a choice. I think in the past we said, why don't we try alternative billing? Win. I think you don't have a choice because we've already talked about it. If AI makes you do it quicker, smarter, and you're billing based on hours, you just cut your income. So I don't think you have a choice.
You did.
Number two, I think you're already doing it to a large extent. Most firms give budgets, projections. Clients hire you, they ask you what your rate is, but almost in the same breath, they say, so how much is this merger going to cost us? How much is this deal? And the litigation, for the most part, to the side. We could talk separately about litigation, but if you're doing corporate transactions, they're going to ask you for a range anyway, so you're already doing it. So you don't have a choice.
I agree.
It's going to happen.
A ballpark, right? A ballpark.
You're doing it anyway.
Right?
Exactly. Clients always ask you, what are you doing? What do you think this is going to cost me? So you're
how much is this likely to cost me?
Correct.
Right? How much is this likely to cost me? And the lawyer says, well, it depends how complicated it gets. And in a sophisticated litigation matter, you don't quite know what you're getting into until you're into it. It's like remodeling a house, an old house, you're going to find stuff when you start, ripping apart the walls. But a lot of this stuff is much more predictable, commoditized. And I think you start there. And, I've heard law firms, often managing partners, we've approached clients, talk about, alternative fee arrangements, and they're not interested. They're not interested.
Yeah. Nope.
I've heard that. I don't believe it for a minute, but that's what they say. I think clients are interested in predictability.
Yes.
On what their matters are going to cost. And, this billable hour certainly does not encourage efficiency or timeliness. It encourages complicating, dragging out matters. That's not what clients want. So efficiency, productivity, predictability, and AI is going to help clients get a better handle on these things. So you got to start somewhere, one bite at a time. And I think our AI community is a nice place to learn among other managing partners how because pricing is a huge part of this AI stuff. Next slide here, Uri. I'm looking at our clock where we got about 9 minutes left. And I think I don't have any data, but, I just sense that a lot of people want to be among their comrades, and they want collegiality and mentoring and training and culture, and they want to be around other people. There's energy, there's creativity, there's fun, and so I think a lot of people do want to come back to the office. They're tired of being alone and sitting in their bathrobes, and they want to get out and be social. So as leases are coming up, we're seeing more and more firms go to more communal space, hoteling, but making the office a cool place to want to come and be a part of it, because we got an axe throwing happy hour this afternoon, don't you know? It's a fun place to come and be. Associates, you want mentoring, you want to be fed, you want to put yourself on a track to become an equity partner, I suggest you show your face, out of sight, out of mind. And so I think there is going to be a trend toward coming back to the office. Not for everybody, but I don't know. I just sense that people want to come back and be together.
Yes.
Sometimes you like to opine, Uri, and sometimes you just give me a yes.
I'm mindful of the clock, John. I'm mindful of the clock.
I think this applies to the associations as too. Yep. People flock to our managing partner forum and just value the time being with other people. It's not the same as a Zoom call or a webinar. Being with people, breaking bread, I think is going to become much more valuable and valued by employees, by clients. I think people want to be together. That's my take. Decision making will become more data driven.
And that's part of the AI. If you're going to a flat fee, I see a lot of clients doing this. This is why this is my bold prediction for 2026 is data. You can't do flat fees yet. You can't do fixed fees. You know why? You don't know how much it costs you to do the deal. You don't know how much it costs you to do the deal. You have no idea where to put it, because I was just using hours. That's why they're doing data driven. I hear a lot of smart firms seeing that down the road. This is what you can do about AI today. Start trying to figure out profitability on each of your different items, your services, your client types, and then come up with those prices. You don't have to do, you're not going to be able to come up with that flat or fixed fee for the alternative clients. John, you agree or disagree?
Well, I definitely agree. I think profitability, more and more firms are honing in on profitability by client, by matter, by industry, by office, by lawyer, and that's measured through data. And so what do we collect? How do we share it? When, with whom? What do the associates see? What do the income partners see? They want to know, they want to be engaged, but a lot of firms are reluctant to share much. But data, if we're going to invest in a new practice area, it's not just because some partner feels like it. We're going to set up an office down in Naples, Florida. We got a partner who retired, has a condo down there, don't you know? No, that's no reason to invest in an office. Show me the data. Clients that have presence in Naples, the growth of the legal market. Smart, data-driven decisions, not just emotional, seniority-based, powerful partner pet projects, that live on forever, but data in the marketing side of things. Where are we spending our money to attract and retain clients? And, getting a handle on that in terms of, data on our website's performance, on our SEO. Important. We're running businesses, and decisions should be made with data in mind, not just feelings and opinions. Competition. I look for, fighting bulls and rams and stuff. I like the fighting kangaroos here, but competition isn't letting up. It's coming at you from all sides, including in-house counsel. We're starting to see studies that suggest big law or big clients are building in-house legal departments again. And these clock people are really having an impact. These are non-lawyers who, boy, are they looking at data and how your firm performs and the metrics they're applying to your firm's performance and how your lawyers working on matters perform. They're watching this stuff, and it's driven by data, metrics, and that's how they make decisions and decide which firms are going to get more work, which firms are going to get less work. Data. So we're seeing more and more of this, and I don't think it's going to let up anytime soon. Competition, succession planning, good to see that rising as on priorities, Uri, because I often run into these firms that run out of time as the founders move into their 70s and they run out of time and they haven't trained up the young ones to lead or market or not much about the business side of running the firm. And, now, that's not sustainable as people start to age out. First generation firms, the statistics are alarming at the number of first generation firms that don't survive the founding partners. So succession planning, helping the young ones up and helping the seniors out and transition their books of business, their ownership, their decision-making roles within the firm. So the firm is sustainable and survives as we move through our growth and lifespan of our firm. Anything on that, Uri? Uri? I think you have a bad internet connection, so I'm going to carry on and talk about this. We did, I think 5 or 6 years ago, Uri and I predicted that the alternative business structures that have been established in Utah and Arizona would sweep the land, and that just hasn't happened. Arizona and Utah allow for non-lawyer ownership of law firms, and there's no real downside there. But I'm just surprised it hasn't swept the land. These alternative business structures, but reading more and more about private equity, alternative business structures, they're still out there. MSOs, this is something new on my radar screen, managed service organizations. I think that's what MSO stands for. Uri, you know more about these MSOs than I do, but I have been approached by several prospective sponsors wanting to plug into Managing Partner Forum who are in the MSO business. What's that all about?
Well, it's like the doctor's offices. Everybody here probably has a doctor that's been invested in by private equity. They're usually doing it through MSOs, managed service organizations, exactly as you said, where the organization, the money is doing all the back office, and the professional services, that's a different division. Guess where the profits are allocated legally? They're in the operations, and guess who gets to share in the profits then? Lawyer and non-lawyer. That's how they're doing it in the medical profession. And yeah, there's a lot of talk about firms that are actively speaking. There is a New York firm, a very well-known litigation firm, that's in talk publicly to going into that kind of a setup. And so we'll see. That should be newsworthy this year, John.
Yeah, it seems to be emerging, and something to keep your eye on. We'll certainly do some programming on this to bring our community up to speed and the advantages, disadvantages, and what's going on with this trend toward private equity and alternative business structures and the breakup of the traditional law firm. It must be owned by lawyers. We'll see how that plays. We're certainly going to keep our eye on it. Uri, we're almost out of time. So real quick, you wanted to say this is our final prediction. Then
my final prediction is that law firms will become more like businesses. No surprise there. And those that bring in revenues will command higher salaries, like every other business in the world. So I think that pressure is going to continue in 2026.
We're all looking for junior partners with books of business, portable books of business. Everybody seems to be shopping for that. We're willing to pay a premium for that. And there are lawyers with clients and lawyers who work for lawyers with clients. And one of my consultant buddies used to say, he who owns the clients owns the gold. But that kind of flies in the face of institutionalizing our client relationships. So it's not just dependent on one lawyer that all the work funnels through. But Rainmakers, certainly valuable. No clients, no law firm. Rainmakers traditionally have left money on the table to support the tag-alongs and the underperformers. One more polling question, then we're going to move to close.
A little money's okay. I'll just make that comment on that, John. A little money's okay to leave on the table. A lot, no so.
Well, fairness is important, but you gotta keep your high performers happy, because if they jump and take some clients with them, that doesn't probably bode well for the future of the firm. And we're asking people here, our last slide, to forecast how their firm's going to perform in 2026 compared to this year. And we offer all the old Likert curve to significantly improved, all the way down to we're going to be significantly down, and pretty even bag here. Well, no, somewhat improved.
No,
somewhat improved seems to be our.
We have a very positive group here, John. Share the results.
We always do have positive. Managing partners tend to be very, very optimistic and encouraging. So significantly improved. So say 1 in 8.
Yeah.
Somewhat improved. Say so. So say 44%, and only 13% expect a down year from this current year.
Well, John,
that's it on our polling. Let me then thank Uri for being with us. We think I'm calling 2026 the year of transition.
Mm-hmm.
As we look at billing and integrating AI and these kinds of things into what we're doing. Last year I said 2025 will be a very, very good year, and it was for most firms. Uri, you want to add something to this before we just
year in transition? But I think this fills the seeds. I don't know if we're going to see mass failures this year, but I do think, in fact, I think we won't see mass failures this year, but I think the time is now to sort of build that backbone of data we talked about, data, so that you can make better decisions going forward, because it's not going to be up to you. It's going to be up to your client. Happy New Year, John.
Happy New Year, Uri. Normally we'd have our toast, but I didn't even bring a blazer. I'm on vacation here, so
I got my coffee cup.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, friend. Happy New Year.
I don't even have a coffee. Oh, I have a glass of Diet Coke. Okay. Cheers. And
cheers.
So we're gonna do our first webinar January 21. So you'll be learning about that. Please tell us what you thought of today's program. And you know where to find Uri and me, which it's hard not to find us. We're in your face all the time. So that's how to contact us if you want to reach out and talk about this or any other topics on your mind. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Thank you, Uri.
Thank you, John.
And we'll see everybody next year, hopefully, and many of you in Atlanta. So
bye now.